Belano as part of the Self from their Astrological Energy Forecast. This will be for the week of June 9th to the 15th of 2025. Thank you for clicking onto my video. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Self family. It's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribe, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. It's good to see a new face here. I do pull oracle cards during this forecast just to give you the energetic theme of the week. So please note that these are a general oracle card reading, therefore the messages will not and may not resonate with everyone. So please take what resonates with you in your particular situation and leave the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit, okay? If it's not resonating with you, it just means I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. In the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health, please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be. And if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on, or it's literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. I am also the author, both fairy tales in my hand here. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is a fairy tale written for children about their intuition, what it is, how it speaks to them, and how if they listen to it, it can help them to overcome all obstacles, help them to overcome all traumas, as well as get them to their happy ending in whichever way that looks for them. It is a very self-love and self-worth based fairy tale. As well as The Dark High Priestess and the Prophecy of the Queen of the Unseen. This is a fairy tale written for adults about healing and overcoming spiritual warfare and narcissistic abuse from families and friends. This is a story told through the eyes of a divine feminine whose family tries to destiny swap with her, does a lot of witchcraft on her, and she has to separate from them entirely, reclaim her power. She has benevolent beings who are around her who assist her with overcoming the obstacles, healing from all the traumas, and helping her to fulfill her soul purpose, which consists of a divine union. Both of these fairy tales are written in the Bard format, okay? So think like the format of Dr. Seuss, but the content of Grimm's fairy tales. They are written and illustrated in such a way to heal and appeal to your inner child as you read them. They're short, they're sweet, they inspire hope, and they make you feel good as you read them. The audiobooks have been released for both books and will be attached to this video for your convenience. However, if you wish to purchase the physical copies, you can find them on online retail, which is Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, just to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice in a second edition print, which means that the autographed first edition, as well as my products, you can find on my website, which is www.aspiraltowithout.com. All the information in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all my social media platforms and pages, so that way you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. As always, I begin each reading with a prayer. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan, the 23, Lu, the archangels, my ancestors, and the seen and unseen. Please only allow this reading and forecast of what I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any low vibrational anti-spinning energy try to come through or try to ask, project, open a portal, remote, view, remonitoring spirit in the past, present, or in the future, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, which will give you full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf, whichever way you fit. Please allow me to see what the collective to know and provide clear, concise messages. If any try to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, present, or in the future, by trying to take a screenshot, ask, project, open portal, remote, view, remonitoring spirit in this set, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, which will give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers as I deliver this divinely guided message. Any curses, hex, evil eye, black magic, witch, and bindings, let they be dissolved, transmuted, and intervened by the All-High. The sinner's mask ripped off, they'll be unable to hide. All their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. Okay, collective, so let's get into the energy. So first we're going to start with the background energies, which is the retrograde energies. Then we go into the weekly. Then we go into the daily, as well as the corresponding chakra, or chakras, that the energy is mostly going to impact. So for this week, the retrogrades that we will have 4, so we're gaining another and losing one. So right now we have Vesta retrograde, which will station direct towards the end of the week. It's a time of being introspective and covering truths of our purpose. Then we have Juno retrograde, which will be in retrograde until July 10th of 2025. This is wanting deep connections like that of a soulmate, essentially not wanting surface level relationships. We want to be seen on a deeper level. Then we have Pluto retrograde, which will be in retrograde until October 13th of 2025. This is where we're challenging the status quo, power dynamics, societal shifts, and purging old patterns and belief systems that no longer serve us anymore. When Monday comes, we will have Pallas retrograde, which will be in retrograde until October 4th of 2025. This is where we're questioning established ways of thinking and grouping together to assist with a humanitarian cause. So revolutionary change, again, think societal shifts and gathering together for humanitarian causes. That's like a big thing here, and it's going to be part of many people's soul purposes. Now, the weekly energy this week, this energy is going to go from June 9th to the 15th of 2025. There will be some tension of trying to utilize the immense creative energy of asking many questions and things that we are curious about, as well as being adaptable and quick-witted. However, if we utilize our personality of being calculated and analytical, it will assist us with overcoming the obstacle of aligning with our purpose. So Spirit, in what ways does the collective need to be calculated and analytical this week? In what ways does the collective need to be calculated and analytical? Okay. There you go. So we have the conscious steps, the considered actions that you need to take. So you need to be very calculated and be analytical, maybe even get prophetic guidance of the future. So, getting a personal tarot reading. I do not offer those at the moment, but there are a plethora of different readers out there that you can utilize. Just know that you should trust your intuition and your gut on who you receive guidance from. Believe it or not, there's many who are just in it for the money, and they will tell you whatever you want to hear. But then there's also some that benefit from giving you bad advice. We've seen that a lot in the collective tarot readings where people were purposely misled through tarot readings, like about you, the collective. So keep that in mind. It could also be like trying to look more into your birth chart. There are good, honorable, and integral tarot readers out there. But again, it's just listening to your intuition, and always take your own advice before you take someone else's. Like, essentially, tarot is just supposed to confirm what you already intuitively know. It shouldn't be a complete shock or surprise to you. So it should be something that you already know about. So taking the considered actions, looking forward, will assist you with overcoming the obstacles of aligning with your purpose. Because right now you're co-creating with the universe, and maybe you need a little nudge on what areas you need to focus on. But again, your intuition is going to tell you what you need to know. Anyone that is reading for you is just going to get your ego out of the way to confirm what you already intuitively know. So just keep that in mind. So June 9th, there's a lot that's going on this day. So we have Mercury squares Saturn, Venus squares Pluto, Mercury squares Neptune, the moon goes into the sign of Sagittarius, but also Jupiter goes into Cancer and Pallas goes into retrograde. So again, we'll have 4 retrogrades this week, but then we'll drop the Vesta retrograde as we gain the Pallas retrograde. So Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer, which is the exalted sign for Jupiter, which will be in Cancer until June 29th of 2026. This is where we're going to have emotional growth, wanting a deeper connection with family and nurturing ourselves and others. But then Pallas retrograde, which will be in retrograde until October 4th of 2025. Again, questioning established ways of thinking, working in groups for humanitarian causes. Your intuition will let you know that there is a chance to gain more freedom in your life if you focus on being logical and having stability in your relationships as well as with your finances. You're in a time of renewed energy. There's going to be conversations that are emotionally driven that will help you to overcome any obstacles for growth and your spiritual evolution. Embrace your light. Embrace your luminosity. June 10th, Mars trines Chiron, and there's a rioted meteor shower peak day. Utilize the immense creative energy in order to complete all the tasks that you are given to the utmost of your ability, because you must in order to transform a wound into power. So whatever kind of task that you are presented, you need to do it because you have to. Don't think that you're going to get a reward. Don't try to evade it, or feel like you have some kind of obligation. Just do it because you have to, and do it to your best ability. Also this day, because there's a meteor shower, it's a meteor shower peak day. This is where there is a favorable time for a dictator to arise, someone who thinks they know what's best for others. There's also a possibility that there could be strikes and industrial trouble that could be imminent this day. So you're being advised to gather your resources and choose to protect yourself from intruders. So just a little pre-shadow here, a little forewarning. I mean, we've seen the whole Trump and Elon debacle going on. That could be something that is leading up to this. I mean, me personally, I feel like that whole thing is a facade. I feel like it's staged, because we all know that if they truly had beef with each other, their publicist teams wouldn't allow it to go public. Like, and I'm definitely thinking that there would be some kind of non-disclosure agreement that they would have with each other. I mean, they're billionaires, so, and they're people in power that have secrets. So I think the whole thing's staged. But again, there's some kind of dictator that's going to arise. It could be in that group, or it could be literally someone else. There's going to be a dictator that arises because in the past, when there has been an arighted meteor shower peak day with Uranus and Venus next to it, it has risen some kind of dictator in leadership, as well as some kind of labor strike. So FYI, it should be interesting to say the least. Then June 11th, we'll have a full moon in Sagittarius. This will be a micro moon, even though like Sagittarius is just a regular sign. It's not exalted, it's not the home, it's not a detriment. It's because that also on this day, like the moon's gonna leave Sagittarius and go into Capricorn, which is the detriment sign, so disharmonious and weakened energy. So this full moon is going to have a weakened energy to it, as well as Mercury sextiles Venus. So this is a day that's going to be a strong action of fate that cannot be avoided, which outcome will be determined based upon your perception, like looking at it as half empty or half full, or essentially viewing it as working for you and not to you. So a good example of this would be like if something's stripped away from you, know that it was stripped away from your highest benefit and good to put you further on your path, versus it's like, oh, poor me, why did that happen? And something here isn't in alignment with you, and it or doesn't serve your highest good and is being taken away. Typically when you see stuff like this, it's like it's saving you from something else. Also, this strong action of fate has to do with sensitive topics that are discussed to bring stability to your relationships and finances, as your intuition is going to be providing you with the optimism that more freedom can be obtained this day. But again, disharmonious energy to take the lead or pursuing your goals and ambitions. June 13th, Mercury trines Lilith, and the Sun squares North Node. This day is favorable to be quick-witted and adaptable to free yourself from obstacles that are blocking you from being further into your soul purpose. We are in a new period of opening up about sensitive topics that will result in emotional healing for all involved. It's a time of important change, closure, transition, and transformation. June 14th, Sun parallels Jupiter, Moon goes into the sign of Aquarius, and Venus oppositions Lilith and Vesta stations direct. This is a revolutionary day of healing ourselves as well as providing that healing to others if we are using our quick wit and are adaptable with the energy. To focus on deep connections within the family, just know that being too practical or logical, or maybe dragging it out, will have an adverse effect of what you're actually wanting. So if you're wanting to heal, being too slow, trying to drag it out is going at a slow pace. It's going to have the adverse effects. So you need to be quick-witted and adaptable. So when the moment comes, you need to seize it. Seize the day, right? June 15th, Mars squares Uranus and Jupiter squares Saturn. This is a heavy yin, feminine energy day, which means it's going to be a receptive energy and introspective energy that will focus on nurturing yourself as well as your family. Having the innocent courage and being creative will remove any blocks to being yourself as you go through this period of growth. So this week, it seems like it's all about a period of growth and part of our spiritual evolution. It's coinciding with, again, sensitive topics, talking about, deep emotions and our feelings, to heal something with ourselves and other people, like essentially to build that firm foundation with the people that we are closest to. So the chakras that coincide this week are the throat chakra as well as the heart chakra. I definitely feel there's a lot of heart chakra healing going on this week. However, what we're going to focus on is the throat chakra, because essentially it involves speaking, purging out these deep emotions. Some of this could be very sensitive topics that need to be discussed in order to break that barrier to move forward. So we're going to focus on the throat chakra. Your throat chakra is the ability to define yourselves in the world. It's useful for manifesting and self-protection. It's also the center of our karma because it has to do with choice. It's the chakra of our willpower, strength, and will. It's the vehicle of our soul's expression. It provides the options in the form of dreams, intuition, and we say yes or no to these choices. It uses sound to express experiences, needs, and emotional states. It's the center of clairaudience, so clear hearing, ability to speak to ourselves psychically, as well as our spiritual guides and other people to speak to us. The yang function of this chakra is expressing and voicing our truths. The yin function is attuned to receiving guidance. Fears of this chakra is related to our willpower. Strengths of this chakra is self-knowledge, personal authority, keeping our word to ourselves and others. Because if you do not keep your word to yourself or to other people, so if you lie, it closes this chakra. So FYI with that. Problems. If this chakra is at a misalignment or malfunction, you can have disorders in the throat, jaw, mouth, thymus, tonsils, victimization, the inability to say yes or no to life's choices, chronic sore throat, mouth ulcers, scoliosis, laryngitis, swollen glands, and raspy throat. Addictions that can stem if this chakra is at a misalignment or malfunctioning, oral fixation like over talking, overeating, munching and crunching on salty foods. All illness has a connection to this chakra because it coincides with choice. So again, definitely speaking your truth this week, expressing those deep emotions and feelings, purging. That's part of your spiritual evolution. It's part of growth. Remember, growth can be painful, but it's necessary. No pain, no gain. Learn the lesson, get the blessing. So purging things that are blocking you from being further in alignment with your purpose, and essentially laying that foundation to have stability and harmony within the home, the family. Again, that Jupiter-in-Cancer energy is all about getting closer with the family, having deep connections, nurturing, but also emotional growth. All right, collective, I hope I was able to provide you clarity of what you already truly know, as well as what to expect this week. Thank you for watching. If you like my vibe in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priestess and the Prostate Queen of the Unseen.